Good morning and Merry Christmas Eve. Today, of course, our daily devotion for the last day of Advent, right? Because this evening we make that transition from Advent to Christmas, which is our theme today. You can't quite see it. Christmas present. And then also our picture. These two people, maybe they're doing some last minute shopping, huh? Last minute shopping. Oh! We'll continue in our study of Luke, the second chapter, verses 4 through 5. Joseph also went from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to the city of David called Bethlehem, because he was descended from the house and family of David. He went to be registered with Mary, to whom he was engaged and who was expecting a child. Wonderful verses to lead us right into contemplating Christmas Eve, the gift once again of Christ, Christ, God in the flesh, which we celebrate tonight. I'm very excited. So, for us to ponder lyrics from a Christmas hymn, A Little Town of Bethlehem. How Christmassy, right? Look at my little Christmas tree. I love it. A little town of Bethlehem, how still see thee lie. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by. Yet in thy dark street shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. Wonderful words, wonderful verses, wonderful poetry, right? So much is said in there. So much is said not only about what's taking place, but what it means. It's interesting, we sing those so much, but do we just stop and ever read them? I think that's one thing I like about this is as we're reading, and I think other devotion series that we've done, we're reading, but we read these verses. We're not singing them, we're reading them. I wanted to sing. Man, I really wanted to jump in there and sing. But to read them as if they were poetry. Read them as if they're poetry. A lot there. Anyway, our theme, Christmas present. For Joseph and Mary, the road to Bethlehem was not only a journey of distance, but also a journey of time. Joseph was returning to a place that was his ancestral homeland, but not his home. He was bringing the woman who would become, but was not yet, his wife. Into the birthplace of David, Israel's ancient king, Joseph and Mary carried a baby yet to be born, whose very existence would change the world forever. Ooh, foreshadowing of Pastor Andrew's sermon. As Joseph and Mary took each step toward Bethlehem, past and future collided in a moment we could call the Holy Now, a place of memory and of expectant hope. The hopes and fears of all the years met in the holy time between what once was and what would soon be. Yes, again, what a wonderful thing to think about. Everything, I don't want to lose my place. Everything, is this. Everything is centered on this moment. Everything building up to it, and all that would come after it. This is when we say, I say, pastors or whomever says, things are changed forever because there's this big buildup to what is to come, and then it happens, and nothing is the same. Nothing is the same. Big time stuff. When we retell the Christmas story each year, we tell it not as something that happened only once upon a time, but as something that is still happening to us and to the world. What I just said, a preview again of the sermon. I do not plan these things. Like Joseph and Mary, we stand in the holy now, remembering God's promises of the past and hoping in God's promises for the future. In Joseph and Mary's journey, we find our own journey. Our hopes and fears are there too. We all lay it down, don't we? We all lay it there. Good. So we'll close in prayer because tomorrow is Christmas. God of our journeys on this holy night, you are again Emmanuel, God with us. Rekindle our hope and faith in this holy now, that we may share the good news of your coming among us. Amen. So until tomorrow, which is Christmas Day, I wonder what we'll talk about tomorrow in our devotions. I wonder. Until then,